But almost all the rest are the historical stories. Roswell is the number one story there. And it sounds like the aliens have sort of lost interest in us, if you believe all that.
I do get hoaxes. There was one guy who was making, it was very elaborate. He was making these balloon constructs. And I think he had a bunch of people working with them, and they would be helium balloons, but they would put on paper mache or foil, and they had one that looked like Sputnik. And it fooled a lot of people. I mean, people are still talking about that like it was a UFO. No, it was a party animal. This guy was trying to hoax people with. And he would have people come out to the top of a mountain with telescopes and stuff. And he actually, I played spy. I went and I watched from the periphery how they were doing this. He didn't know I was spying on him, but I was. He didn't know who I was yet. But somebody put in a UFO report, and I put two and two together. I had heard about what this guy was doing. He literally has a friend with a Piper Cub, a little old Piper Cub, this little plane, would release these balloon constructs in the clouds. The guy would get real meditative looking, and then he would say, "They're here." And so everybody's got their binoculars, and they're going, ooh, you know. And I actually confronted the guy, handed him my card and said, "I know what you're doing and I know how you're doing it. And, you know, your pilot friend made the mistake of wagging his wings at the crowd when he left." You know, I asked the guy behind me, "Well, who's that guy wagging his wings at us right after UFOs showed up?" And the guy said, "Oh, those are the men in black. We see them every single time." And that was an elaborate hoax. The guy was getting on TV. He was making money off of it. You know, he'd charge for events. Other times I'll have somebody, like I had a CGI person put in a very well-produced video that was just too good to be true. And, you know, the little daughter danced past the camera, really being cute at one point, and it was like, this looks really produced. And I did a little bit of detective work, and I found that the person actually had an online resume that said CGI work, realer than real life. And then I did a little bit more research, and I found, like, on social media, this person and friends yucking it up at a party, you know, at the computer, and it was like, okay, I know exactly what happened. You know, she produced a CGI video, tried to submit it, tried to fool MUFON, and I guess she would have probably used that on her resume. I even fooled MUFON. Yeah. So unfortunately, we do get hoaxes. It muddies the field up. I mean, some of them are funny. Some of them actually, they make me laugh once I've figured out what was going on. But it's not good to fool people. And I'll tell you, the UFO phenomenon in itself is so interesting that you can't make up anything that's better than the real thing. It's just always kind of a downer, because it's not as good as the real phenomenon.
The red flag always comes up for me when I talk to somebody, and they say, "Well, I know exactly why they're here." This is just a red flag, you know, or because do you really know? You don't know.
This clip is from our sequel to our original film, I Want to Believe. Watch the whole movie on Tubi, Fossum, Amazon, and right here on YouTube. Link is in the description.